All right, good evening and a very warm welcome to Love Audio Production. My name is Paul Webber and welcome indeed to the stream tonight. It's going to be great. We're going to try and create a jingle from scratch. Fingers crossed and the wind in the right direction. That'll all happen in a moment. Love Audio! First of all, behind the scenes look. Here we go. So I've got the keyboard set up just underneath the desk, just there. So fingers crossed that'll work a little bit later on. You've got the rear scruffy hair cam at the back, and then of course the main cam, which is just there, which is all good. Hope you're all enjoying yourselves and having a wonderful time, whatever it is, whatever time it is, wherever you're watching. Please do let us know in the comments. They will come up on screen any second now, so just watch out for those, and we'll say hi to some people as and when they join the stream. Great to be here tonight, and like I say, we're hoping to create a jingle from scratch. Now, what does that mean? Basically, we're going to have a go at the keyboard and just try and create some music, and then I'm not a very good singer, but I'm going to try and sing over the top of it, and then we'll see what happens on that. But if you've got any suggestions, then please do let us know as we go through tonight's stream. Now, what I'm using is software called Studio One Live. It's a Studio One version 7. And if I get my desktop up, you'll be able to just see that. Give me 2 seconds while we do that. And then hopefully you'll see that as we go through the show. Now, this is the main kind of layout. What I've got currently is an instance of Mai Tai, the synthesizer that comes with Studio One 7. So hopefully you're hearing that coming through the stream, which is pretty good. I've got a synth sound set up currently as a poly, so it's a polyphonic sound called Blank House. And I just wanted to create a few notes on that first. So what I intend to do is just bring that over there a minute. In fact, I can just get rid of that for a second. And then I've got a pre-roll click as well, and I'm trying to get the metronome to click as we do the pre-roll, and then I can count myself in and hopefully play a few notes. So fingers crossed, this is what I'm hoping to do for the first little bit. Or similar. Like that. So what you've got there, in fact, is the MIDI notes, and we're looking at 16ths. So there's quite a few MIDI notes there. Of course, what you can see is let's start that from scratch, and if I play it back, you'll hear that. Take the metronome off, and you'll hear that play back. Obviously, cocked up at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to use the first And then we're going to mix into something else. Okay, so just give me 2 seconds while I edit that. So what we do is just use the cutting tool there and just cut just before the next set of notes, which is there, and then use the erase tool to get rid of that. And then all you've got then is playback with these at the front. And because the effects continue past the notes themselves, then obviously there's a little bit of echo there as well, which is exactly what we want. Now, we've got no drum track currently, so that's fine. We'll do that in a little moment or two. What I'm also going to do then is duplicate the track. So right-click on that one and then duplicate track complete, like so. But I don't want the same piece of music in there, so I'm just going to take that out. And I'm going to play the whole thing with the metronome in the background and then add to it as we go along. Okay, so give me 2 seconds while we do that. So we'll arm the track for a record and we'll play that track back so we can listen to it as well. So we double click on that and again press record. So what I'm going to do is another couple of notes here. So I'm going to go, and I'm going to go. Like that. Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. If it is, do let me know. It's quite loud at this end, actually, to be fair, in my headphones. Let's just see what happens there. Okay, so here we go. So just going to do those 3 notes as we get past that diddle-diddle bit. Okay, so stand by. Bearing in mind this is just a short jingle, so it isn't going to be much on the screen, do you know what I mean? So we're looking at very short, sharp, maybe 5-6 seconds at the most. But those two put together then, so take off the records, go back to the beginning, take off the metronome and play those two. Cool. So what I wanted to do was, I'm going to duplicate the track once more. Okay, but I'm not going to include the music. But I wanted to do is to bring up a different synth sound for this third track on My Tai 3 here. So what I'm going to do is drop down here. I want to go to lead. And I want a fairly... that's got a fifth on it, so I don't really want that sound. Let's take that off, actually, because that might be listening to it. Yeah, so... like that. So it's quite a sharp sound, which is really good. So this is like an attack sound. It's a polyphonic sound as well, so we can do chords if we need to. But I just want to reduce that again, and we'll play the track back, and then I can play the end bit that I want to do on here. So let's make sure it sounds. Hang on, let's listen to that. Oh, hang on, listen to that first. Let's try that again. Yeah, so that's those 3 notes there, those 4 notes. So that's fine. I just wanted to see what that sounded like first. So that's okay. Let me play that as well. And then we'll play back the whole thing with the metronome in the background as well. So here we go. Cool. So that should, hopefully, take off the metronome and then play those 3 back. Okay with that, but I don't like the sound that My Tai 2 is coming up with. That should have been not the attack paddy, but it should have been the other sound that we had, which was on the, let's have a look. I think I used poly and, what did I use? Let me think. Hang on, let's go back to this one. We'll find what it's called, Poly Blank House. There we go. So that's good to go there. And then we go to the polyphonic sounds. Poly Blank House. There we go, Poly Blank House. There it is. Okay, so... yeah, that's better. Okay, so that should be the sound that's coming out of that particular track there. So let's play that again for you. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because when it changes on that particular track, what I don't want to do is have it mirror that. So this needs to be this other one that we found, which is called lead, where are we, lead, and then attack key paddy. Now what I don't want to do is for that to change the previous track as well. So I'm just going to make sure that that doesn't happen. Let's click out of that. That's not what I want, is it? So that's changed that. So that needs to go back to poly. There we go, polyphonic. Here we go, and then blank house. There we go. And I think it's because I duplicated the track. What it's doing is selecting it both. So what I'm going to do is, let's have a look if I can lock that in place without it changing that one as well. Hang on. So that's poly blank house as well. If I click that, that's the same, but I don't want it to be the same as that. So that's different. So that's poly blank house. This should be poly blank house, but this one here, the third one, should be the lead that I selected earlier on. So that's that one there, and attack key paddy. Now I know for a fact that if we do that, that's going to duplicate again. So that's going to sound like, if I listen to both of those, hopefully that would have changed both. I don't know, let's try that. That spot one's all right. Yeah, so I think what I need to do is delete that track, or let's remove the track. Duplicate track complete on that second one, but do away with that particular synth sound. Okay, and then re-record that dun, 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 that we did earlier on, that kind of bit of a bass note. We're going to do some bass as well with it and some drums, so stick around for that. But this one here should be, yeah, that's the one. Okay, that's cool. So let's just record that again, and we'll put the metronome on again so we can hear the beat in the background. And there we go. So I'm going to mute that bottom track for a minute. Okay, came in a little too late, so I'm going to delete that and start again. I didn't need that first note, so I'm going to try and edit off that first note, which is this one here. Hopefully that won't affect the rest of the MIDI notes. Okay, cool. So that's fine as it is, and then I'm going to zoom back in so we can see everything, and then fingers crossed everything's working fine this time round. So this bottom one, attack key paddy, is that quite a sharp sound, which is good. The second one should be the poly blank house that we did, which is cool. And then the top one is also that same synth sound. Okay, so I'm going to just loop these a bit, bring them in a closer. It's going to be a short jingle anyway, and and then double click on that, take the metronome off, play the whole thing. Okay, and I muted it, didn't I? So that was my fault. Hang on, here we go. Try again. Okay. So those are linked together. You see that? So I'm going to move that back to there, and then just keep this one at the end. So it sounds like. Just make sure that finishes on that last note. I think it does. Okay, so my fault. I need to go back here. Just record those last three notes. Just record those last three notes again. Let's take that off. So it should be. All right. Oh. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. So let's double click on that. Back to the beginning. Click on the metronome and then click this one. Yeah, I know what's happening here. Hang on, I've got a good idea. So what's occurring is it's got like a fifth note behind it. So if I do, let's listen to those three. So it ends on that one. So I want to be ending on that bass note, so it's. Yeah. That one there, okay? So, brilliant, right, okay, now I've got the notes. See, I told you I couldn't read music. I did say it, didn't I? I did warn you at the beginning that I couldn't read music. So, here we go again. Let's try this. Here we go. Okay, that should, in theory, sound a little better. Fingers crossed. Don't forget, we've got no drums or anything with it yet. No percussion, no other instruments apart from these synths. So let's play that back. Okay, so the idea is it's a very short, sharp jingle, and it'd be used in and out of songs, out of breaks, that kind of thing. But the more you kind of build it up and layer it, it's going to sound a lot better, obviously. And vocals on top as well. Happy to take your suggestions as to what particular lyrics you'd like on the jingle itself. That would be really, really good. Let's take a look and see who we've got in the house. We've got Awesome Fun Things. Add more audio clips. Hey, it says Awesome Fun Things. Thank you very much indeed for joining. Matt, hope you're well. Enjoyed your show a little earlier on, so thank you so much for that. That was really, really entertaining. Well done. And yeah, glad to have joined you on your live stream. Superb. He says add more sound clips. No, you're absolutely right. I should absolutely add more sound clips to that. But we're adding more instruments to it. That's the point. So we're just growing the whole thing bit by bit, and fingers crossed that'll work. So we go to the NDI. This is the kind of setup. If you're wondering what's going on. Oh, hang on. This is the keyboard underneath the desk, just there. You can probably just about see that. So. That in turn is triggering my software, which is this, as you can tell. And if I take off that and do that instead, it changes the instrument. So I can, if I go to desktop, you can see that happening. So go to desktop there. So this is the instance of Studio One 7. And the one we've got highlighted is not the track we're actually playing. It's this one here. It's the Mai Tai 3 that we put there, which is the sharper kind of sounding one, which is this one. It's a pretty powerful sound. So that one's that on track 4, and then you've got this different synth on that one, and the same synth on the top one, because what we did was duplicate the track entirely, so that copied and pasted the whole instruments from one track to the other, and then we've got a different instance of Mai Tai on track 4, which is the synth that you just heard, the sharp one, that one there. It's all pretty good. Pretty good stuff. So yeah, just pressing buttons, saying hi to some people. Thank you very much indeed for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and like. Give it a thumbs up as well. And any suggestions you have about the lyrics that we should sing, he says sing in inverted commas, onto the jingle, then we can do that for you as well, just as a free. Well, actually, Matt Haas has only got 2 syllables, so I could do awesome fun things. That would work, wouldn't it? So awesome fun things. Do you know what I mean? So that would work. So awesome fun things. Yeah. What do you reckon, Matt? Should we do that for you? Should we do that an awesome fun things jingle? Yeah, the producer, by the way, when you did your American or very bad English accent, we didn't actually publish that bit to the client, but we did play the American version, and he says, "Thank you, we'll be in touch." what quite that means, I don't really know, but yeah. So I don't think they accepted that for the actual finished commercial, but you were in the running. Let's put it that way. And it was a joy to have you on the stream. It was good fun. Okay. Awesome fun things, or good morning, Haas. Good morning, Haas. Yeah, how about that? So good morning, Haas. Yeah, I like that. That'll work, wouldn't it? Do you have a new income stream? Hey, wait. Do you have a new income streams brackets with audio voiceovers? What, for you mean? Probably not. But you know what? With practice and the decent equipment, I know you've got some decent microphone, and what you need is some software like the thing that I use. But you use a Mac, so I would probably go for something that's Mac orientated, but certainly you can use this. This is called Studio One by PreSonus, and yeah, we're just playing around with this currently, as you know. Good morning, Haas. Good morning, Haas. We could extend that, couldn't we? So we could I said it's the wrong key, isn't it? I'm thinking that. So that one there is higher, isn't it? So it's hang on, let's play that back again. I can't remember which key we're in now. No, let's not record it. Hang on. Here we go. So just going to play that back. Good morning, Haas. Good morning. Good morning, Haas. That works, doesn't it? I think so. Such a great bass sound on that. I like that. What I might do is, in fact, yes, let's do that. Let's duplicate that whole entire track completed. Take out the synth on one of them, and then we'll record a... We'll do that at the bottom. So here we go. So let's double click on that. Click record. Hang on. It helps if you get the right notes, Paul. Hang on 2 secs. Let's get rid of that. Okay, let's try again. I'm confusing myself. I'm going to take those out, actually, because that's probably the wrong key. Let's take that one out, and then we'll do this one again properly. All right, so trial and error. I told you it would be, didn't I, in the introduction? So yeah, here we go. It's actually the other way around, to be fair. So let's try that again. Boom, boom, boom. That's the one. It sounds like... Hang on. Chicory Tip, son of my father. That's what it sounds like to me in my head, anyway. Let me know what you let me know what you think. So double click on that. We'll start again. Okay, we can actually edit that bad that bum note, not the bum note, but like an additional note there. So just go to the erase tool and then just take out that note there. And we could also, if the note isn't long enough or doesn't start quick enough, we can just drag it across to the front of there and sharpen that up to the beat, and we can extend that like that so it goes like that. So we'll extend that one as well. You highlight the note and then just drag the end of it to the end of that bar, and then it sounds like that. So that's pretty cool. And you can adjust the kind of volume that, or the velocity that you strike the keys with, by dragging this bottom line up and down. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. And it highlights when it does it, and then plays it like so you can tell if you're like that, which is pretty cool. So then close that window and then do that. So we still need a little bit of melody in between. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, good. So what we do now is, I'll show you. Blast. So I've gone over the track. I want to do that. I want to edit that. So I undo record. And hopefully I haven't destroyed it. I should go on this track here. That's better. Okay. Let's double click on that and try again. Luckily for the undo button, right? Nice. I do like that. That's good. So let's go back to the beginning and play it. Quite powerful. That seems to work, doesn't it? So I'm going to drag that into there. And then bring that end jingle into there. So obviously you want the tail off as well, so it's not just going to kind of end where that synth ends. You want a little bit of reverb after the event. So when it plays those last two notes, or 3 or 4 notes, stop about there. So bring that in to about there, I reckon. Yeah, just about there, I think. Which is cool. All right, let's have a quick look at what's going on then. So catching up with Matt, says add more audio clips, more synth, more better. Absolutely. Good morning, House. We're going to use that. Do you have a new income streams with audio voiceovers? Do I have meant to write? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. I've got a spending spree because the voiceover money will soon be rolling in. Well, once you hit the 1,000 subscribers, Matt, I'm sure that the money will start rolling in anyway. When you get your 4,000, what is it? 4,000 watched hours? No, 1,000 subscribers. However many watched hours it is, I don't know what it is these days, but I'm sure that the money will come rolling in once that starts to happen. Pretty sure of it. The very best of luck, by the way. And it was great to hear the news that you had, you will be announcing your 1,000th show. I think it's going to be next Friday, as far as I know, or maybe this coming Friday. Do let us know in the comments when that is, and we'll try and join you. And I believe if I right-click on this, hang on a second, I can probably Add as moderator. Managing moderator. Yep, absolutely. Save. So you now have the power, Matt, to type in your URL of the channel that you wish to promote for your upcoming events. As you roll over to 1,000 subscribers, and also your 1,000th show, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is this coming Friday. Do let me know if I'm right or wrong, because obviously that makes a lot of difference. We can tell everybody else about it then, and they can all come and watch you. So that'll be really cool. All right, let's do one of these for a minute. Absolutely. And yeah, I know people are kind of interested in how the setup is. So literally, I don't know if you know, but I've got the studio monitors here, which are the M Audio monitors. They're turned down because obviously if I turn it up, you're going to get feedback through the speaker like that, which I don't want, obviously. And then I've got in front of that the Go XLR, which is this one here, the mixing desk. It's got 4 channels on it, and currently I've got one on the microphone, obviously that's that one there. The second one in is music. So if I'm playing music from a source, let's say that's the background music and stuff, and the synth, and yeah, I can actually control the volume of that. So that's on that fader there. So if it is coming in a bit hot, I can just bring it down a bit for you guys. Second one on is voice chat, it says, but that doesn't seem to affect anything because I've changed some parameters. It doesn't really matter. And then the fourth one is my headphone volume. So because on the Go XLR, you don't have control over your headphone monitors unless you actually assign a fader to it. I know it's a bit bizarre, and maybe it's the thing they're going to include in like future updates or whatever. But yeah, there is no headphone volume unless you allocate one of the faders to it, which is that one there. In my case, I can listen to the headphones going up and down like that. It's just luckily, because otherwise you'd be blasted out by synths and stuff like that every time. So it's good to have some control over it at least. Yeah, so I just thought, like I say, playing around with these. I've not put any drums on there yet, so I think that's what we'll try and do next, is to go here and get some drum beats behind it. Let's go here, and so we've got track 2, which is a music. We can go to browse, and if we go to loops, and if we go to loops, I think, yeah, so effects, no, loops, let's go to electronic, and we want drums. That's pretty easy, so go to drums section. Let's go to my desktop, you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. So you want a kick drum first? Let's have a listen to this. I think we can probably audition it, to be fair. Oh my god, yes, yes, yes. Can we do that? Can we use that? Is that peaking at your end? It probably is at mine. Wow. Good grief. I like that. Do you like that, Matt? That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Let's get that on your stop. Right. So I think we'll use that. So let's bring that in. Can we bring that in? Can we drag it? Yeah, we can drag it. This will be good. Oh, I beg your pardon. Whoa. Wait. Good grief. What's it doing? It should not be doing that, to be fair. Hang on. That's very strange. That is very, very strange. Why is it doing that? Every time I do that. That's very strange. Okay. Shh. Stop playing my drums, that's for sure. Can I solo it? Let me solo it a minute. Hang on. Nope. It's playing the synth. It's not playing. It's not playing the. In fact, if I loop that, I wonder why it's not doing what I want it to do. That's very strange. It should be playing a drum beat and a kick at that, but it's playing the synth instead, which is really weird. So let me try something else. Hang on. Yeah, it's not doing it, is it? That's really strange. Why is it triggering the synth? Let me have a look at the synth itself. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I really don't. 1, 2, 3, 4. My type 4 is on there, which is fine. Okay. Burp. You're supposed to be playing a drum beat, not the synth. Thank you very much. Let's turn it off. Let's see if that works. Let's get rid of the synth and then double click on that. Nope, still not doing it. Okay, fair enough. This is all sent to try us, folks. It's all sent to try us. Let me try this. Yes, thank you. Thank goodness for that. Right, okay. So, what if it'll play throughout the whole thing? No, I've just played once. Okay. Let's go. Duplicate. D. Oh yeah, of course. Okay, that makes sense. If I highlight it and go D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D like that, you've now got. Good grief. Okay, that's fine, but will it play the synth on top? I doubt it. Let's try it. It kind of did, but it's like, it's completely the wrong beat, isn't it, to be fair? Let's get rid of those, because that's really loud. Amazing stuff. All right. Activate all inserts. Okay, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But we'll drag off. Let's have a look. What does this one sound like? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, nice. Wow. Boring. I've listened to that many now, I can't make up my mind which one I want. That's crazy. Let's go back here. Stop. Thank you. We could probably drag that one in. Put it here. Interesting. Should be playing this one here. Actually, what I want is a boom at the end. So not that one there, but something different on the end, I think. So we take that one out. And where was the... I can listen to these now. Yeah, for a laugh. Let's stick that in for a giggle. So it's yeah, it's actually the wrong key, isn't it? So it doesn't really work that well. I'm going to take that one out, to be fair. Doing. That one. Will that work? Let's try it. Not quite. I want a kind of a crash, really. Like a crash drum, if there is such a thing. Let's have a look here. Let's go back a bit. So we've got drums. That's fine. Let's go to some effects. That's a kick. What we could do with is one shot. Let's have a look. Let's try that. Is it claps? Not really. Ah, now then, that might work, wouldn't it, on the end? Let's try that. Still needs a boom, doesn't it? And a really low kind of that kind of thing. Should be able to find something here. Shush. Okay, let's get some drums in here. So. Okay, that would be quite fun, wouldn't it? Let's see if we can change the BPMs on this. I wonder if we can. Yeah, that's a right old mash. But actually, because the drum beats is 130 beats a minute, it should, if I can try and get it to snap to the time base that we're using, which is 120, then it might work a bit better. Let's see what I can do with that. Because it's come up with a load of options. Time stretch and things like that are on here as well, believe it or not. So I can quantize, I can restore timing. Let me try that for a second, see what happens. Nothing at all, still stays the same. Instrument parts, that's okay. Audio, normalizing, extract a tempo track. Let's try that instead. Yeah, okay. So that might work a bit better. See, that's going to drop down. So if I drop it all down to 120, then that should hopefully change the drum beat. Yeah. It's not going to work. So yeah, it's interesting. It's like loads of different loops and stuff on here that you can use. So that's nice. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? I like that. Let's take that one out, because that's obviously far too fast for the track. So let's drag that into there. Extend it if we can, or duplicate it like that. Okay, so what we need to do is change the whole BPMs of the track and the song, and then hopefully these will all match then. So these need to go up to 125 as well. So we just drag these lines up. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. We just drag these lines up to 125 beats per minute, like so. And then the whole song then is the same beats per minute, all right? So let's move that along to the beginning. Yeah, it's not quite working. So let's take that out for a second. And take those out as well. Drag that back. Interestingly, the drum beat doesn't start where I need it to. So it's kind of, it jumps a bit. So the whole thing should start from scratch. So let's just drag that in again. This one here. That's better. Oh, actually, it kind of works, doesn't it? So on the end. Let's try that again. We need that to continue slightly, so we'll duplicate that. And that should follow on. We'll move that over slightly. We're just playing with at this stage, ladies and gents. It's not for. Let's do that here. So that needs to be. I can't hear that. Yeah, I'm hearing nothing from that one, which is odd. No, okay. Attack 4. Let's try this one. Poly blank. Attack. Yeah, okay. That's still not playing. Interesting. Okay, let's try something else a minute. Let's close that. Double click on that one. Yeah, that's every time I switch that on, it's coming in with this, which is what we don't want. Thank you very much. Let's turn that off. Try again. Wants to come in on that at the end, doesn't it? And we'll actually bring that in, but we'll wait until that stops there. And you know that boom is a bit too soon. So I'm going to zoom into that particular section, find out where the beat is, which I think is there. And then double click and start again. And again, the symbol is just slightly too late. So zoom in again, bring that in to the end of the bar. Have it so that the drums finish there as well. And then zoom in again. Double click on that. slightly too late. So let's wind that in. Bring that in. Should start with that downbeat comes in, I think. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so that kind of works. And we're still building this up. Don't forget, we're going to put a bass line in there, which didn't work. So I need to try and find out how to duplicate that track. Let's do that again. Let's try the So we duplicate. Let's get rid of that track there because that's not working for us, is it? So let's delete the track completely. Remove track and instrument. Yep. And then we're going to do that. And then duplicate track complete. That'll be doubled up now, obviously. Which doubles the volume, to be fair. But what we do is take out the MIDI track of it, like so, and then we'll do the bass line as we did before. So it's yeah, that one. Okay, so let's double click on that. Click on record. Like that. So play the whole thing back. Good morning, Haas. We've still got to sing on it yet. Can you believe that? All right, let's go back to some main cam. Let's see if we can catch up with any comments that have come in since we've been messing around with this. By the way, sorry about all the messing around, but we have to get it done. Jump off. I got a job. Jump off, Paul. Keep making awesome beats. No problem at all. Rich Vibe says good evening, all. Hi to you, Rich. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again this evening. Hope you are doing well. And you're just in the middle of. We just joined us rather in the middle of creating a jingle from scratch. So we're just messing around with this this thing so far. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. To grab a slurp of tea before we go any further. So what I want to do is to increase what we've got currently. So let's go to the desktop again. So here we go. And we're back in our selection here. So we're going to take off browser. We don't need any more of that currently. But what we've got here, if I zoom in and then go back here, we've got the beginnings of what could be a little kind of radio jingle thing, but I want to bring the mix up. So what I'm doing is I'm going to bring up the audio. Let me just take that off there a second. Hang on a sec. Let's play the whole thing again from scratch. Yeah, so some of those are obviously quite loud in the mix. Nice. Just a little bit. Just on that bass note. So I think it's this one here. Let's double click on that. This starts slightly too early, and I want it to extend a little bit more beyond the note itself, and then bring that in so it starts on the beat, and then extend that to the end of that beat as well. So then it sounds like much better. And if I wanted to extend that, well, I could go beyond that a little bit more. But I don't think it warrants it, to be honest with you, so it's fine as it is. You can just see this in isolation now, this one. I think the cymbal works, the crash cymbal works fine on the end. I would have liked a, but I can't find one readily handy, to mix in with that. So I'll just kind of keep it like it is for now. I want to just jazz up the front bit. I want to put something like in the background, really, because I've got this diddle-diddle, which is something I had in my mind earlier on today, and I thought, well, I'm going to try and recreate that. And I kind of like the beat, the drum beat, so... Just trying to see if that timing's right. Let's have a listen to that. Hang on. Not quite. So let's double click on that, see if we can get that tighter if we can. And we'll zoom into the actual notes. So diddle-diddle, and it's a 16th of a note, so it's quite quick. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Diddle-diddle. And I don't know if it starts too early, so I'm thinking if I drag these over a little bit. Yeah. That one could go a little bit that way. Possibly. Let's try that. Let's see if that works with the beat. Hang on. Yeah, it does. So what we've done is, and if you saw any of that, we've kind of tightened up where these notes came in. So I, would have played them kind of loosely, sort of, but I may have got the timing wrong when the metronome was going and things like that. So what you can do is zoom into these MIDI notes and drag and drop, or extend them, or shorten them, or line them up with the beats of the bars and everything else as well. So that is possible at the same time, which is cool. Let's just get out of that one. Back to our mix. Let's take those off and then just play the whole thing. Nice. Yeah, so we're getting there. I think it's a work in progress, is what I would call it. And don't forget, we've not kind of mastered anything yet. So on the master mix at the final end, what we do then is obviously put some polish on it and put a little bit of compression on it, and just to kind of lift up those middle bits. But it just lacks something at the front there. So what I'm going to do is try and look at for this beginning bit here, something like strings or something. Synth based, but not the synths that we've got currently. So something completely different that needs to go in that gap at the beginning. So I like the way that synth cuts through that final note as well, which is good. And don't forget, there's no vocals on here whatsoever so far. So that's going to be an ongoing project, I think, that we'll tweak. Maybe on a weekly basis, and see if we can come up with a decent finished jingle. I've been rabbiting for an hour now. Let's just check the final messages before we disappear. Basically, thank you so much for joining, everyone. Do hope you enjoyed tonight's little show. It's just a case of messing around with the keyboard and different synth sounds and stuff like that, getting the jingle from scratch into the system, and kind of to see if it works or not works, as the case may be. But thank you very much indeed for joining. Hope you've enjoyed the show, and if you would like to see more of this kind of stuff, then drop me a line. It's hello@loveaudio.co.uk, or you can get in touch via YouTube and drop me a message into the chat. You're more than welcome to do that. But I think I'm ready for bed, to be honest with you. It's 11 o'clock here in the UK, whatever time it is where you are. I hope you have a great night, and we'll see you again soon. Take care now.